What up, what up, what up? Welcome back to Boston's Banter, where the sports are wicked and the banter is Pissah. I'm your host, Frank the Bank. With me, as always, is Keith LaCava. What's going on, Lindsey Brohan?
Lindsey Brohan, not much Jermaine Bronail.
Okay. So what's good, man? What's going
Not
on?
much.
Episode 31.
And as you guys can see, Cool Dad Club. Dad established
That's
2025. Right. Me and my beautiful wife, Stephanie, are expecting our little girl in July, so wanted to announce that. Thank you.
Congrats,
Thank you.
bro. Congrats.
Appreciate that, man.
That's awesome. Congrats, Steph. Why don't we jump into the stat challenge?
Yes,
Another
sir.
one of your friends won again,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, a girl I know from high school, Kelly Mullins, she got the Jordan Love stat prediction. She was the closest, like 2 yards off, so
That's
she's going to
awesome.
be getting a Jordan Love jersey card pretty soon.
Yeah, thank you guys for subscribing. Make sure you subscribe to be entered into this as
Right.
well and share as well.
Yep.
This week we got two cool cards. We got the Jaden Daniels emerged rookie, and we actually got a score a treat Mike Vrabel because he's the new coach.
You already
now.
know the
So
deal.
I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah, Jaden Daniels, we're going to ask for his stat line. So rushing and passing yards this week against the Lions. So
Absolutely.
That's the stat challenge
Oh,
this
dude,
week.
you know he's going off. We already
think
know
so.
the deal.
I think he's
this
gonna-
kid's unreal. We'll get into that
Yeah,
later,
he's
though.
nasty. Let's jump right into the Wicked Pissah News.
Alrighty,
What do you got
Frankie.
for us?
So Wicked Pissah News, as always, let's start off with the Bruins update. So the Bruins are currently 21-19-5, and actually, Frankie, they dropped to the fourth spot
I
in the
was gonna
Atlantic
say that,
Division.
fourth now.
So they dropped a spot, 1-2 since our last episode. So let's break it down real quick. They lost to the Oilers 4-0 in Boston last Tuesday. Right before
We
we
talked
filmed.
about how bad that was going to be.
Yes, absolutely. Followed by a 4-1 loss to the Lightning this past Thursday. Then a 4-3 overtime win. They got the win finally.
Against the Panthers, too.
To the
Panthers are a good
Panthers.
team.
I know, right? They always oust us in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, hate to bring it up, but it is what it is.
Well, 1-7 in their last 7 games. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I mean-
crazy. Yeah, it's just crazy.
That win, I was just going to say, ended a 6-game losing
6 in
streak.
a row, yeah. So,
Yep. So,
1-6 in the last 7 games, rather. So
I mean,
that's
they're starting to, like I said, 6-game losing streak. They got the win. They won in overtime. They showed that they could prevail and be resilient. But at the end of the day, man, what's going to happen after this win? Let's see if we can get a streak going on the right side.
1-6 in 7 games and falling to 4th in the Atlantic is not good. Not a good thing.
They got to step it up for sure.
We had some other hockey news this week. Alex Ovechkin, who's only 21 goals away from breaking the all-time record of Gretzky.
Unreal.
But this week, he became the second player in NHL history to have 20 seasons in a row with at least 20 goals.
Wow.
You know who the other player was? It's not Gretzky.
Would it be somebody that I know?
I mean, you should know him if you know hockey. He played in the league a long, long time.
Are we talking Ray Bork or something like that?
No, he didn't have 20 goals a year, but it was Gordie Howe.
Gordie
Had
Howe. Okay.
22 straight
I know who
years.
that is.
With 20 or more goals, 22 straight. So I thought that was kind of cool
Yeah,
to bring that up.
definitely.
And again, he's only 22 goals away from breaking the all-time record of Gretzky. So why don't we move on to the Celtics? What do you
Yeah,
got for me?
bro. So Celtics update. And Frankie, again, man, we have an all right looking record. 28-11. That'd be good for a lot of teams. But by our standards, man, they've been looking a little rough. So let's
Keep
break
losing
it down.
at home, too.
That's what I'm
What's
saying.
going on with that?
4 home losses all last season. So let's break it down
yeah,
real
it's
quick.
crazy.
They're still second in the East behind the Cavs that still only have 4 losses.
5.5 games behind,
Right,
though.
dude, that's what I'm
Cavs
saying.
had 12 wins in a row until yesterday.
So just like the Bruins, they're 1-2 since our last episode. They beat the Jokic-less Nuggets last Tuesday in
Yeah,
Denver,
Jokic still play.
118-106. So obviously, without him in the lineup,
Yeah,
you
that
should
helps.
beat them.
That helps.
You know what I mean? Then a 114-97 loss to the De'Aaron Fox-less Kings.
That was crazy. Sabonis went crazy.
I was just gonna break
28 rebounds.
Dude.
Are you crazy?
So let's break
How
that
do you even
down.
get 28 rebounds in a game?
So Frankie just nailed it right there. So Domantas Sabonis had 23 points, and like he just had a career high 28 rebounds and a fourth quarter rally to beat us.
That was unbelievable.
So, dude, Sabonis is the first player with 20-plus points and 25-plus rebounds in a game at the Celtics since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in
It was
1971.
crazy. He went nuts.
Dude.
That's just crazy stat line.
And it's his second career 20-point, 25-rebound game.
Yeah.
And then, lastly, let's talk about their last game, a tightly contested 120-119 win over the
1
Pelicans
point.
in Boston. So, again, the Pelicans, man, a 1-point win. Like, what
Hey,
is...
a win's a win, but that's terrible.
I know, ever since Brandon Jennings called Jason Tatum the softest superstar in the Celtics, I don't know what's going on. Is that getting in his head a little bit?
They were 14-point favorites in that game, and they only won by 1. They were like, on the money line, it was like minus 1,400. It was like 14. You're risking 1,000 to win like.
When you bring it up in those
$14.
terms, man, yeah, it's disgusting to hear. Alrighty, so let's move over to some other NBA news. And Frankie, we were talking about the Jokic-less Nuggets that the Celtics beat the other night, but I have some news on them. So Russell Westbrook and Nikola Jokic make history as the first duo in NBA history, teammates, to record triple-doubles in the same game multiple times this season. Both Westbrook and Jokic are in the top 3 for all-time triple-doubles, too.
For sure.
Russell Westbrook has 202 triple-doubles first all-time, and then Nikola Jokic has 145 triple-doubles, which is third all-time. Dude.
And Oscar Robinson second, I believe.
That's so crazy. They're both on the same team, too, man.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a good combo right there. You got Westbrook and Jokic, man, and making history like that. Both
They're a
having
good team. They're a good team.
Dude, if you got two players getting triple doubles in the same game, you
that's
better
crazy.
win. So, Frankie, let's actually move over to some NFL news.
Yeah, Justin Herbert. Well, when we talk about that in that game, like, just like terrible.
Disgusting, bro. How do you throw 3 interceptions all of the regular season and then in the playoffs, the first round of the playoffs, throw 4 interceptions? Like Frankie was talking, he made the wrong kind of history this past weekend in Wild Card
He's been
weekend.
the worst in the 2 playoff games he's played in.
They were up 27-0 on the Jaguars the last playoff game, blew that lead, they lost. So Herbert is the first quarterback with at least 200 attempts in a season to throw more interceptions in a playoff game than he did in the whole regular season. And like I said, 3 INTs all of the regular season, he threw 4 in the 1 playoff game against the Texans this past week. Frankie.
I don't know. I thought they should have ran the ball more to begin with. I just thought the game plan was like, they were out there throwing like crazy.
Right.
And I texted you right away, and I was like, oh, the Chargers look great. The Texans look like Duke.
Yeah.
I didn't think they would score another point.
Dude, I'm going to tell you
and
right now,
Texans
man.
went crazy after the defense.
All the hype. I've been saying it since even like after his rookie year. Justin Herbert, overrated, and it's continuing.
There you go.
So we actually got more Chargers news.
Oh, yeah, we got a couple things.
So Chargers rookie wide receiver Ladd McConkey set an NFL record with 197 receiving yards on 9 catches in the wild card loss to the Texans this past Saturday. Man, dude, he's a beast.
He's nasty. You're going to have a big decision to make who you're keeping next year.
I'm keeping Brock Bowers,
I mean,
bro.
Bowers, well, McConkey's going high.
He's going high. But I'm
high.
going to tell you right now, dude, Brock Bowers being 3rd in receptions in the whole NFL as a rookie tight end.
Crazy.
I mean, I get it, man. Sam Laporta kind of dipped from his good rookie season, but I can't pass on Bowers. You know how thin tight ends are.
I don't know where you got that either one of them in the draft, but nonetheless, you have 2 really good keepers.
Yeah, man, McConkey's a beast, man. Like I said, he's breaking records left and right, and like I said, 197 receiving yards in your first playoff game. Keep it up, lad.
That's crazy.
And then lastly, Frankie, Chargers linebacker Khalil Mack is contemplating retirement, supposedly. His contract with the Chargers is up, so he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. And Frankie, he actually had this to say after the game to the press.
Yeah, man, it's a lot of different thoughts in my head right now. Can't really speak on a definitive decision in terms of what I'm going to do, because I don't know if I'm going to play football moving forward. So there's some things I got to talk through with my wife and spend some time with my kids and try not to make a rash decision after, a loss. I think I did that a couple years ago. They didn't really go too well, but yeah, trying not to be emotional through this process and trying to think a little more clearly. And yeah, that's going to take time.
So, Frankie, if Mack is to retire, he finishes his career with 630 tackles, 107.5 sacks, 32 forced fumbles, 13 fumble recoveries. He's a 4-time first-team All-Pro, 9-time Pro Bowl selection. He was the NFL's Defensive Player of the Year in 2016.
He's an animal.
Yeah,
he was so nasty out of Chicago.
He's
not
been
good
good
on the Chargers, but not like when he was in Chicago.
Right, when he was with Chicago, he was an all-time beast. Right, even with the Raiders, still.
Raiders, he was great too.
Every team he's been on, he's contributed. Man, he's definitely provided the spark. And I'm not gonna lie, man, he's one of those players that you kind of want to see get a ring, dude.
Yeah, I hope
he's always done it right. He's never really gotten in trouble. No doping, no steroids, none of that. I mean, I really like to see him get a ring. But if he retires, he had a hell of a career.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, sir. So, Frankie, let's move over from that news to some injury news. And, bro, can this guy stay on the field? The guy got a 5-year, fully guaranteed $230 million contract. Let's break it down. So, Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson. No, it's not all the legal stuff like we've been seeing. We all know what he went through, man. But no, Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson tore his Achilles again.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me, bro? How did he do this? What was he doing, for one?
I saw something
he was already hurt.
On TikTok where he was like kind of dancing without the boot on with his girlfriend, and now they're, the guy was speculating that they might be able to void his contract, and I'm like,
they should.
I don't know if any of that's true, but he was doing a little, he wasn't moving much.
All right, so he's doing the Macarena or whatever,
he was doing something.
This upcoming season, the 2025 season, he already has it in jeopardy, dude. It's in doubt.
He ain't gonna play this year.
So since being acquired by Cleveland for a boatload of draft picks, he only played in just 19 of a potential 51 games in 5 seasons.
That is one of the worst trades, if not the worst trade in NFL history.
Absolutely.
And it's going to go down that way.
Yep.
And that person, the GM should be fired if he hasn't been already.
Right.
And never be hired again.
I'm going to tell you right now, to give that man, especially what he was going through in the legal accusations and all that stuff, 5 years, fully guaranteed, $230 million. What did he do with the Texans to deserve that? Yeah, he was good. He brought him to the playoffs a few times. He was up on the Chiefs 24-0. They choked that game. But, dude, come on. And then look what he's doing.
It's going to go down in history as the worst thing.
So I'm telling you right now.
The Browns really destroyed a lot of their future.
Well, luckily, the Browns got the number 2 pick in the draft. So I'm telling you right now, they got to take a quarterback.
Oh, they should.
Cam Ward.
Yeah, Ward or Sanders, whoever's not picked number 1.
Right. So, Frankie, with that injury, let's get into the NFL injuries that are going into the playoffs still. So, going into divisional round, we saw a few for some notable players. Bills running back Ray Davis suffered a concussion in the wild card game. He's considered day-to-day.
He got blown up.
Yeah,
on that.
he did.
He got laid
That was
out.
rough. That was rough. Bills cornerback Teron Johnson, he got a neck injury. He's expected to play, but, you know, it's always a neck injury, man. It can be a little scary.
You never know.
And then Eagles linebacker Nakobe Dean, the guy that wears the green dot, he tore his patella tendon in his knee. He's out for the rest of the playoffs.
That hurts them big because their defense has been playing great.
Dude, he covers left to right, man. You know, good in the coverage game, and he's good in the pass rush.
He's so nasty.
That sucks for the Eagles. And then Frankie, Cowboys and head coach Mike McCarthy agreed to part ways after both sides couldn't agree to a new contract. So McCarthy finishes his career in Dallas 49-35 in 5 seasons, and he made the playoffs 3 out of those 5 seasons.
Yeah, he go.
So I mean, I'm hearing though they're looking at Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders, that's what I heard too.
Yeah, so
they talked today and they're gonna talk again, and I mean, it's good and bad. I think Deion, I don't know. I think Deion wants to be like the focal point, and Jerry wants to be. So there could be some button heads.
Oh, there's
there.
gonna be a rift there. I mean, Jerry's too stubborn to just hire a GM.
I don't like it. I think McCarthy. I don't know. McCarthy's an okay coach. I think his offensive mind is good, but you can see he doesn't have that discipline.
No.
They lead the league almost every year in penalties.
Yeah.
Right? They have so many penalties.
So clearly
that's not good.
Well, Jerry not coming up to terms with a new contract, that tells you right there he was already planning on probably canning him anyway.
I'm surprised he didn't go earlier, honestly.
Right, absolutely. And Frankie, lastly in the NFL news, I just got to bring this crazy stat up of Jaden Daniels, bro. And I'm going to show you guys the picture. Jaden Daniels has more games in his career where his team has 0 punts and 0 turnovers, 3, including the playoffs, than the combined careers of Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, and Patrick Mahomes. Wow. All those guys have 2.
That's crazy.
All those guys combined, only 2 of those. Jaden Daniels, rookie year, he's already got 3 of those.
He set the rookie record for completion percentage. The kid's unbelievable.
Yeah, he is.
He's really good. They won a playoff game.
That's my other keeper. That's my other keeper in my league.
Yeah, I have him in my league, but I might end up keeping Bucky Irvin or somebody, but I don't know.
Blame you.
But national college football championship.
Yep.
There's been some great games. Notre Dame versus Ohio State. I'm picking Ohio State.
Absolutely.
Who are you picking?
So don't get me wrong, Frankie. I like what Notre Dame's doing, and especially head coach Marcus Freeman.
Freeman's been great.
He's got the attention of that team. And mind you, to break it down for them being in the college football national championship, no wide receiver on their roster has over 500 receiving yards or 3 touchdowns.
Yep.
And they do have 2 good running backs in Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price. But I'm going to tell you right now, dude, I'm taking Ohio State just like you said. With the quarterback, Will Howard, he's been playing good all year.
Yep.
You got running back Travion Henderson. He has 967 rush yards and 10 touchdowns. But they also have another running back that has over 900 rush yards in Quinshawn Judkins, dude. 960 and 12 touchdowns.
They're stacked up. I mean, they lost a couple games early on that put them in a lower seed. But you know, at the end of the day, they're minus 400 in Vegas odds right now. So, I mean, the Vegas expects them to win.
Well, when you got 2 running backs that are going over 900 rush yards in the season, both 10-plus touchdowns, that actually opens up the passing game, as we know. And they got a good receiver and wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith, over 1,200 receiving yards and 14 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's nasty.
Yeah, I'm taking Ohio State without a doubt.
That's all we got for the Wicked Pissah News. Why don't we jump into the Foxborough Podcast?
Here we are, Frankie. Like we talked about, the season's over. We don't got no highlights, nothing like that, no stat lines and whatnot, but we do have really good news. And mind you, we saw what Gerard Butler wrote on the paper last week.
He knew
signed Mike Vrabel as head coach, so let's break it down. The Patriots signed Mike Vrabel as head coach to a multi-year deal. They didn't really get into details what those numbers were, but it's a multi-year deal.
Oh, it's good.
We got our guy back, bro. I'm not going to lie. Mike Vrabel has already been a coach of the year in 2021.
Yep.
Like, the respect he has around the league, all the players that love to play for him and still probably want to play for him, which is probably going to help our cause getting better players. And he even led the Titans to the AFC Championship. Yeah, they had King Henry, but bro, their quarterback was Ryan Tannehill.
I know.
You know what I mean? And who'd they lose to? The Chiefs, which is obviously a team that's been in the Super Bowl every year for the past few years.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Frankie, let's break it down the timeline real quick. So, it was a quick one. Thursday, Vrabel met with Robert Kraft and the Patriots for the head coaching vacancy, and we heard that news. We were like, oh, we expected that.
Yeah, of course.
Saturday, then you got the news that the Pats and Vrabel were negotiating a deal. They were already getting the gears turning, bro. And then Sunday, I woke up to that news, man. I saw that the Patriots signed Mike Vrabel, made my breakfast even better.
That was awesome, man. That was great. I'm happy that they did it. I mean, I've heard a few of his press conferences. It doesn't, I don't know. There's already seems like there's a little tension almost, like with Elliot Wolf. Like they're not giving him full control. Right. So it's like he wants that control, I feel like.
And I think he should have it.
He should. I agree. And hopefully that doesn't come to a head at some point, too.
Well, I mean, especially the kind of player he was for this team, and he knows what it takes to win here as well.
He was a grinder. He did everything by heart, and he just hustled to get where he was.
So
he wasn't one of those like
right.
top picks that were just,
No.
He made it happen on the field.
Yeah.
And gave it his all.
He was a third or fourth round pick to the Steelers in 97, and then he came to us in 2001 as a reserve linebacker, and then look at the career he had with us, dude.
Unbelievable.
Helping us get to 3 Super Bowls.
Unbelievable.
So one of the Titans, one of his former players on the Titans, Jeffrey Simmons, we all know him.
Simmons, yep.
Very good defensive tackle. Check this out, Frankie. So somebody made a post that says, we need to start the Mike Vrabel era by trading for Jeffrey Simmons, and look who liked the post.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Dude, I would love it. Like I said, dude, some players are still
be great.
probably want to play for him. I mean, I don't know. We saw how bad it was in Tennessee last year.
I'm saying.
So, I mean, I'd love to get some players in due to the fact that we have Mike Vrabel. But, Frankie, with the Mike Vrabel signing, I think he's planning on bringing back somebody.
Josh McDaniels.
Somebody we're very familiar
That's
with.
what
And
we gotta do.
He's looking at Josh McDaniels for his 3rd stint in New England as offensive coordinator. And, Frankie, I'm not going to lie. His last tenure with us, a lot of people were kind of hating on his schemes. There was a lot of screens, a lot of draws. But I'm going to tell you right now, after seeing Alex Van Pelt's offense, what is it saying? You don't know what you got till it's gone.
Till it's gone.
I'm going to tell you right now, I'll take Josh McDaniels back in a heartbeat, bro.
Oh, me too. McDaniels is great.
Well, I look at it this way too, man. What you got to look at these numbers is very interesting. So we've seen how bad of a career Mac Jones is having, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The only good year he had of his career, his rookie year, with Josh McDaniels, bro. 10-7 record. We went to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Mac Jones was the best rookie out of all the rookies that year.
That year, yeah.
So I'm telling you right now, I would like that move. And then I also saw another rumor. It's a rumor, nothing really set in stone. But I guess Mike Vrabel would like to have Robert Saleh as the defensive coordinator.
I heard that too, actually, yeah.
Dude, I would take that.
Saleh's
in
a good defensive coach.
And again, nothing against DeMarcus Covington, but last year it was like all these moves that were made. The Gerard Mayo, who'd never been a coordinator or a head coach or any, you know what I mean? And then DeMarcus Covington, who was even just, he wasn't even the full defensive coordinator or linebackers coach the year before because Gerard Mayo was. So you brought him up as DC, kind of inexperienced. And then Alex Van Pelt, dude. What has that guy done in the NFL?
Nothing.
You know what I mean? So I think bringing these guys in, especially proven veteran coaches, I think that's going to be good for the team going forward. It's already a good start to the offseason.
That'll be huge. And
you know what I mean?
Vrabel came out and said, everybody's accountable.
Right.
He's holding everybody accountable.
Absolutely.
You're not just making the team. Like, you're going to prove it, and you got to earn it.
Just like Brady would say, going into every training camp, he was never a lock to me. I mean,
of course he was, but he knew.
He knew Belichick
had that
was
mentality,
no favoritism, bro.
And that's what we got to get back to, the old culture of the Patriots.
Dude, I'm telling you right now, I'd love to get Jeffrey Simmons and A.J. Brown to start off the offseason. 2 of his former players.
A.J. Brown be sick. That's all we got for the Foxborough Focus. Let's jump into the playoff payoffs.
Here we are, Frankie. Divisional round, and let's break it down with my surefire picks this week. So number 1, Josh Allen versus the Ravens. I'm predicting he's going to have 250-plus pass yards and 3-plus touchdowns. I'm going to break down why. The Ravens, they still have the 31st ranked pass defense.
Terrible.
Allen was 20 of 26, 272 yards, 2 touchdowns versus the Broncos' number 7 defense in the wild card.
Yep.
Allen's last 7 games, 13 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions.
Animal.
Absolutely. Number 2, Lions running back Jahmyr Gibbs versus the Commanders.
You know I got
Break it down. So I'm predicting he's going to have 80-plus rush yards and 1-plus touchdown. The Commanders, like we've talked about, 29th in rush defense. Gibbs has 18-plus carries the last 3 weeks. We got David Montgomery coming back, which they've been talking about. That may dip on his numbers. But Gibbs has 365 total yards the last 3 games to go along with 5 touchdowns, bro.
I said when I drafted him as a rookie in your league that as soon as they let go of Montgomery, I think this kid's going to lead the NFL in rushing. I said that to you.
And without Montgomery there, it was showing what he could do.
He's been going crazy without Montgomery.
And they do complement each other. Don't get me wrong.
I mean, obviously Saquon's got something to say about that, but I really think this kid could be the NFL leading rusher one of these years.
Yeah, I think
the way he runs is just
electric.
He's gone.
Oh, yeah. Nasty, bro. The number 3, wide receiver Terry McLaurin at the Lions, Frankie. I'm predicting he's going to have 5-plus receptions, 70-plus receiving yards, and 1-plus touchdown. The Lions have the 30th ranked pass defense, which is surprising to me. One of their corners or safeties leads the league in interceptions. McLaurin has 5-plus receptions 6 of his last 7 games, 8 touchdowns his last 7 games, and went over 70-plus receiving yards 4 of his last 7 games. And then number 4, the Eagles defense versus the Rams, Frankie. I'm predicting they're going to get 2 INTs, 2-plus INTs, and 1-plus sack. The Eagles, they have the league's number 1 defense and also the league's number 1 pass defense, bro. And they have 8 INTs over their last 4 games.
I like it.
Frankie, let's hear the divisional fan duel.
So I got Jaden Daniels against Detroit, which you just talked about how bad their secondary's been.
Yep.
I think that Washington's going to be playing from behind, and Daniels is going to have to do some stuff. So, 8,500, I took him.
Dude, if he beats the Lions, man, the dude's already a legend.
Right. Jahmyr Gibbs, we just talked about. I put him in there. I put Eckler in again, playing from behind. He had 3 or 4 catches last week.
Right.
He had like 27 yards rushing. You know, he's only 5,500.
He'll get his opportunities.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of what he does with them.
Xavier Worthy, I threw in there. He's only
like that.
6,400.
like
These are the
that.
Saturday games. There was 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday, so I took the Saturday games. Again, you can't do both. Nico Collins, who's been nasty.
Yeah, he got the touchdown last week to kind of get them surging a little bit.
8,500, and they're going against KC, who's 23rd against, you know, fantasy wide receivers, so why not? I put De'Ami Brown in there. He was only 5,100. Same reason. Again, they're second worst secondary, and he got a lot of targets last week from Daniel. So
He did. I think he got a touchdown,
cheap.
too.
And he got a touchdown.
Yeah, I was going to say.
He's cheap
Him
money.
and McLaurin had a touchdown.
Yeah, he's 5,100. And then lastly, the last couple guys, I took Travis Kelce. You got to put a tight end in there against Houston, who's, again, middle of the pack against tight ends.
Right. I like that one, actually.
Yeah, and
I think he
Kelce's
could have
rested.
he's good in the playoffs.
I took Brian Robinson, too. I put both of the backs from Washington.
How can you go wrong?
Yeah, so, and then the second cheapest defense was the Texans against KC. I don't think Texans are going to win, but their defense played really good against Herbert, like we just talked about.
I was going to say, too, and we've seen the Chiefs' offense, man. They haven't even put up over 31 points.
I'm saying, so they haven't been as electric as we thought. That's my FanDuel picks this week, and see how that goes.
Yes, sir.
That's all we got for the playoff payoffs. Why don't we go to the Lava Round?
Lava round, baby. Frankie, let's get into that wild card breakdown. And the Texans beat the Chargers 32-12. The Ravens, I know, right? We both took the Chargers. Ravens beat the Steelers 28-14. Russell looked lost out there.
Yep, he
The
did.
Bills beat the Broncos 31-7. Even after starting hot, the Broncos just couldn't
They were
get
up
going.
7-0. They gave up
the
31
first drive.
unanswered?
Dude, crazy. Eagles beat the Packers 22-10. And the Commanders beat the Bucks 23-20. First playoff win for them in 20 years. And then last night, Frankie, the Rams beat the Vikings 27-9. And Sam Darnold is the guy we knew he was.
But they are who we thought they were. And we let them off the hook.
And they're the first 14-win team to not make it past the wild card in history. They only lost to 2 teams all year.
Yeah.
Twice to the Rams and twice to the Lions.
Right. There you go.
And that was including the playoffs.
Yeah,
so
man.
obviously.
So, yeah, they're frauds. So let's break down our picks, Frankie. So your boy finished 4-2. You know, I picked the Chargers as one of them, and then I did pick the Vikings. I was trying to have some faith in them. Frankie, you only went 5-1. The game you got wrong, we both got wrong, was the Chargers.
Yep.
So good one on that, brother. So, Frankie, let's get into the NFL divisional round picks. You name them, we'll predict them. Let's
Saturday's games. Texans going to the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs.
I mean, it could be. I mean, Texans showed signs of life because they look like the last month of the season. They looked terrible.
Rough.
But their defense stepped up. The defense played really good against the Chargers.
Good pass rush, man. I remember back-to-back plays. Actually, the Texans got a sack against Justin Herbert.
Pick sixes, like you name it. 4 interceptions, crazy.
Right.
I mean, they played great. Commanders going to the Lions. I'm going Lions. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah, as much as I love Jaden Daniels and the Commanders right now, especially how electric he's been, I'm going to have to take the Lions here.
Here's a tough game. The Rams are going to the Eagles. Now, I'm taking the Eagles because it's at home. The Eagles are the better team, but the Rams have been playing great for the last month.
They have, especially having Puka Nacua back, man. He's been going off for them.
Crazy.
Very consistent, but yeah, I'm going to be taking the Eagles too, like I talked about. I think they're going to get 2+ interceptions and a few sacks.
It's going to be, and it's outdoors versus indoors. The Rams, you know what I mean? But again, it's just crazy. Like, what's going on in LA, and they're playing for like something. You know what I mean? Like, the Rams have been playing unbelievable, and their defense has been great lately.
Yeah, a lot of young guys on that defense, man, that are playing fast.
Game of the week, game of the century, whatever you want to call it.
2 MVP candidates.
Literally the top 2 MVP candidates, right?
Right.
So the Ravens somehow are going to Buffalo.
I know.
So, which is like crazy, but I don't know. The Ravens beat Buffalo by 25 earlier this season.
Yep.
I mean, who are you taking? You go first.
I'm taking the Ravens.
I'm taking the Ravens too.
Oh,
I thought you were going to Bills. That's why I asked you first.
I think just right now with the way Lamar's playing, especially the lack of his turnovers, same with Josh Allen, so you can say the same for both of them. But at the end of the day, man, when it comes to that running attack, I'm taking the Ravens over the Bills. I mean, James Cook is a good running back, but Derrick Henry's just on another level. Minus 1 game, of course, for me in fantasy.
He's been crazy. Lamar ran the ball like 15 times, 12 times last week.
Right.
They're just running like crazy.
And both tight ends are getting utilized well, too, with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. And I mean,
Zay
even
Flowers should be back, too.
That's what I was saying. The fact that he did that without Zay Flowers and Rashad Bateman's been stepping up himself, man. So, yeah, I'm definitely taking the Ravens in that game.
That's crazy. I wish they weren't. I wish this was like the AFC Championship game.
Oh,
I feel bad for one of these guys that lose. You feel bad.
Like, one of these guys ain't going to make it to the conference championship.
These are 2 of the best seasons in NFL history.
Right.
These 2 guys put up this year.
Records.
It's insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What they did this year is insane, and they're going at it right now. Divisional round. It's just, oh, my God.
Man, I wish that one was Saturday night, bro. It's going to be on Sunday night.
These are the 2 Sunday games. Oh, my God. That's going to be the best game. It's going to be the best game of the playoffs.
It's going to be fun, bro, for sure.
Yeah, and that's all we got for Live Around. Good luck this week, my friend.
Yes, sir, Frankie.
Another good episode, man. Episode 31's in the books.
Frankie, hey, bro, do you hear that, man?
Yeah, what is that, man? That's weird.
I don't know, bro.
I don't like that.
It's very creepy. Let's get out of here.
So like I said, episode 31.
There it is again, dude.
It's so strange, dude.
Okay, man, that is creepy, bro. Frankie, let's
Right,
get out of here, bro. Yeah.
From Beantown to your town, stay wicked pissed.
From the TD Garden. Thanks for listening. See you next week.